Want to know how supermarkets manipulate us? You walk into a supermarket just to buy some milk. 20 minutes later, you're standing at the checkout with milk, bread, chocolate, a drink, chips, and several other things that weren't even on your list. You look at the receipt and think, how did I manage to spend so much? It seems like you simply made a few spontaneous decisions. But supermarkets have been studying how people make these decisions for a long time. They know that shoppers don't always choose products rationally. We pay attention to discounts. We compare prices. We're influenced by attractive packaging. And we're especially likely to buy something that seems like a good deal. That's why a modern supermarket is not just a place where food is sold. It's a carefully designed system aimed at increasing the amount you spend. Today, we're going to look at 7 tricks that make us spend more. And after this, you'll start looking at supermarkets in a completely different way. So, trick number 1. Imagine this. You walk into a store. You only need some milk. But near the entrance, you see a bright display. 50% off. Today only. Inside, there's chocolate. You weren't planning to buy it. But the price looks so attractive that you start to hesitate. Why not? And you put the chocolate in your basket. This is called an impulse purchase. The store doesn't have to force you to buy anything. It simply needs to create a situation where the purchase feels natural. That's why stores often place products that are easy to buy on impulse near entrances, checkout counters, and other high-traffic areas. You came in for something you actually needed, but the store tries to add a few extra items to your purchase. And if every customer spends just a few extra dollars, it can add up to a huge amount of money for the store. Trick number 2. Now imagine you want to buy some coffee. There are 3 packages in front of you. $3, $6, $12. Which one would you choose? Most people won't necessarily choose the cheapest one, and they won't necessarily choose the most expensive one either. Often, people choose the middle option. Why? Because $12 seems too expensive, and $3 might seem too cheap. So $6 starts to look like a reasonable compromise. This is known as the decoy effect, or the compromise effect, depending on the specific structure of the offer. The most interesting part is that the expensive product may exist not only to be purchased. It can make another product look more attractive. You see, $3, cheap. $12, expensive. $6, reasonable. And your brain says, I'll take the middle one. Trick number 3. Now imagine a price tag. $10 crossed out. And next to it, $6.99. Most people immediately think, I'm saving $3.01. But there's one important question. Were you even planning to buy this product for $10? If not, you didn't save anything. You spent $6.99. A discount can change the way we perceive a price. We no longer think, do I need this product? Instead, we think, how good a deal am I getting? This is a very important distinction, because a person may buy something simply because it's cheaper than the regular price, and end up spending more money than they originally intended. Trick number 4. Imagine 2 bags of coffee. The first one, 500 grams, $8. The second one, 750 grams, $10. Which one seems like the better deal? Most people will look at the price. $8 is cheaper. But if you calculate the price per kilogram, the picture changes. The first coffee, $8 for 500 grams. That's $16 per kilogram. The second one, $10 for 750 grams. That's about $13.33 per kilogram. So, the more expensive package is actually cheaper per unit of product. That's why it's important to look beyond the big number on the price tag. You need to check the price per kilogram, liter, item, or another unit of measurement. Because a package may look like a good deal when in reality it's more expensive. Trick number 5. Products at eye level. Imagine you're walking down an aisle. At eye level, there are several brightly colored packages. You notice them almost automatically. and below them are similar products. But you have to bend down to take a closer look at them. Which product will you notice first? Of course, the one that's right in front of your eyes. And this matters to the store, because shelf space is limited. Manufacturers and stores want their products to be placed in the most noticeable spots. That's why product placement can be extremely valuable. You might think, I just chose the product I liked. But first, the store has to make sure you notice that product. Trick number 6. It's your cart. Now imagine 2 stores. In the first one, you take a small basket. In the second one, they give you a huge shopping cart. In both stores, you buy roughly the same things. But a large cart creates the feeling that there's still plenty of empty space, and you may start adding extra items. Since the cart is almost empty, one more product, another one, and one more. Of course, the cart itself doesn't force you to buy anything, but it can influence how you perceive the amount of your shopping. And that's one of the reasons why, in a store, it's important to pay attention not only to prices, but also to the environment around you. Trick number 7. You think you're choosing for yourself. And here's the most interesting part. Suppose you walk into a store. No one forces you to buy chocolate. No one forces you to buy expensive coffee. No one forces you to pay attention to a discount. You are free to choose. And that's exactly why all of this works. A supermarket doesn't necessarily have to force you to do anything. It can simply create conditions that make a particular choice more likely. This is an important idea in economics. Companies study what we buy, how much we're willing to pay, what we pay attention to, how we respond to discounts, which products we compare, and which decisions we make automatically. And then they use this information to create more effective offers. Next time you go to the supermarket, try a little experiment. Don't immediately buy whatever catches your eye. Stop. Look at the shelf. Compare the price per kilogram or liter. Ask yourself, do I really need this product? Then ask yourself one more question. Am I buying it because I need it? Or because it seems like a good deal? Because the biggest trick supermarkets use isn't the discounts. It's not the shelves. It's not the shopping carts. And it's not even the advertising. It's the fact that we often make decisions automatically. And when you start noticing these mechanisms, you gain something far more valuable than a discount. You start to understand how the market works. And next time you walk out of a supermarket with a full cart, you might ask yourself for the first time, who really bought whom?